With everyone watching in awe, Charlie calmly left. Warnia couldn't help but stare at him on the drive back. Charlie had returned to his usual ordinary self, and she couldn't see any sign of that immense power on him. She was surprised and found it a little strange. Just a short while ago, Charlie had projected an aura of a supreme master, one that made people tremble with fear. But now that presence was gone. At first glance, he looked no different from any other person on the street. It was hard to tell if he was deliberately hiding it or if the whole thing had just been an illusion. Warnia couldn't help but ask, "Charlie, did you really summon that lightning back there?" Charlie looked at her and smiled faintly. "What do you think? If I said it was a coincidence, would you believe me?" In Warnia's mind, the image of Charlie summoning the heavenly thunder flashed again. In that flash of lightning, he stood proudly against the world, his presence overwhelming. Any woman who saw that would fall for him. Warnia couldn't help but feel her heart skip a beat, but she quickly shook her head. What a ridiculous idea! Even the world's top physicists couldn't control lightning. If Charlie could summon heavenly thunder, would he still be the same down-on-his-luck son-in-law he was now? Could it be that the divine lightning was really just a coincidence? When Charlie got back to his front door, he heard the voice of his mother-in-law, Elaine, shouting from inside the house. "I told you to find a capable husband, but you just wouldn't listen to me." Look at how capable that son-in-law is. He bought her a huge 4-bedroom place. Over 1,900 square feet. How amazing is that? Then there's our house, barely 1,300 square feet. I feel so cramped in here. After she finished, Elaine added angrily, "Other people have sons-in-law you can count on. Charlie is completely useless. If I have to count on him, I'll never live in a big house in my entire life." Claire's frustrated voice cut in. "Mom, why are you always comparing us to other people? Besides, I just got promoted to director. If we save up for a few years, we can afford a new house." Elaine scoffed. "Wait a few more years, I'll be dead by then. Ever since you married Charlie, our family's life has gone downhill. We used to live in the Wilson family villa, and now look at this. This run-down dump. All of my friends live better than me." Claire said, "Mom, what's the point of always making these comparisons? It's frustrating," Elaine yelled. "I'm frustrated because I can't measure up to them. It's so incredibly frustrating." Charlie just shook his head, opened the door, and walked in. Seeing Charlie walk in, Elaine snorted. "Look who finally decided to come back. Are you going to cook dinner? We're all starving." Charlie smiled. "Yeah, Mom. I'll get started on it right now." With that, he headed straight for the kitchen. Charlie knew Elaine's character inside and out. She was a total snob who couldn't stand to see other people have nice things. He figured if she ever found out that Salman wanted to give him a villa to make things right, she would probably come over and start kissing his feet. Still, with Elaine acting like this, Charlie wasn't about to say anything about the house he'd been offered. While Charlie was busy in the kitchen, Claire came over and whispered, "Don't take what Mom said to heart. She's just obsessed with what other people have." Charlie pretended not to know what she was talking about. "What did Mom say?" "I didn't hear a thing." "Oh, sure you didn't," Claire teased, poking him on the forehead with her finger. "It would be a miracle if you didn't hear her." Charlie seized the chance and gently took her hand. Claire blushed and quickly glanced out of the kitchen, trying to pull her hand back, but Charlie held on. He looked down and saw she was wearing the bracelet he'd made for her. He smiled and asked, "So, is the bracelet working?" Claire snapped back to reality. She nodded and said, "You know, it really is effective. Ever since I started wearing it, I feel completely refreshed and so much more comfortable. What is this bracelet made of anyway? How does it work?" Charlie smiled. It's just a special kind of pearl. The white pearl on her wrist made her skin look incredibly smooth and fair. Her hand felt warm and soft in his, and he didn't want to let go. Claire noticed him staring, blushed, and quickly pulled her hand away, giving him a playful glare. Charlie smiled and asked, "So, you want to move to a new house too?" "Of course! Who wouldn't want to live in a new house? Ever since Mom had to move out of the villa, she's done nothing but complain about how small and run down this place is." Claire sighed, then shook her head. "But houses are so expensive right now, and we just don't have that kind of money. So, we should probably just forget about it." But then an idea seemed to hit her, and she blurted out, "Wait! We could go look at some houses first, just to see. We could figure out how much more a new place would cost compared to this one. If the price difference isn't too crazy, maybe we could actually upgrade." Before Charlie could even respond, Claire said excitedly, "That's it! Tomorrow's the weekend. Let's go out and look at some houses." Seeing how excited she was, Charlie nodded. "Since you want to go, I'll go with you." Claire immediately started looking up listings on her phone and decided they should check out some houses in the new district, where the neighborhoods were nicer. Right after they finished eating, there was a knock on the door. A delivery guy handed a small package to Charlie. "This is for you. Can you sign here?" After Charlie signed for it, he opened the package. Inside was a house key and several gold-plated key cards engraved with the words Thompson Villa, Unit A5. Just then, Charlie's phone rang. It was Solomon, the head of the White family. He said respectfully, "Mr. Wade, did you receive the key and the key cards? Thompson Villa is a development by Thompson Industries in Oris Hill. It's their most high-end project. Unit A5, the one I gave you, is the largest villa there. Not including the courtyard, it's over 10,000 square feet. Please, accept it." Charlie had heard of Thompson. They'd developed villas and high-rise communities all over Oris Hill, and they were known for having the most exclusive real estate projects in the city. A villa like that would go for at least $100 million on the open market. Looks like Solomon was really pulling out all the stops. So Charlie said casually, "That's very generous of you." Solomon replied ecstatically, "Not at all. It's an honor for the White family to be of service to you, Mr. Wade." Back in the room, Charlie casually asked Claire, "Honey, do you like the houses of Thompson Crest?" "Thompson Crest?" Claire exclaimed. "How could we ever afford a place there?" Even their regular high-rise apartments are twice as expensive as anywhere else. But yeah, their homes are definitely the best in all of Oris Hill. Charlie smiled slightly. "We can still go look tomorrow. We can worry about whether we can afford it later." Claire quickly waved her hands. "No, forget it. Let's be realistic and just look at regular houses." Charlie smiled and said, "Look, I have a friend who works at Thompson. He said he might be able to get us an insider deal. We can at least go and see." The next morning, Charlie grabbed the villa key and access cards Solomon had given him, and he and Claire drove over to the Thompson Sales Center. Soon they pulled up in front of the sales center. The place was packed. It seemed like everyone in Oris Hill was curious about the Thompson properties. Even if they couldn't afford a place, they still wanted to come and see what all the fuss was about. Seeing the crowd, Claire said to Charlie, "Charlie, these places are way too expensive for us. We can't afford them, so let's not waste our time." Charlie smiled. "Honey, we're already here. What's the harm in looking? Besides, I want to see what a place like this is really like. Come on, let's just take a peek." Claire sighed. "All right, fine. I guess it's a chance to see what a top-tier Thompson home looks like." Inside, a crowd was gathered around a huge model of the development, listening as a sales agent explained the layout of the Thompson community. The area Thompson had developed in Oris Hill was massive. On the outer edges were high-rise residential buildings, which were their more standard homes. The units ranged from about 1,300 to 2,600 square feet. The prices were astronomical, starting well over $1 million. But in the center, the most desirable and private location was the villa section, with single-family homes. The villas ranged from around 3,200 square feet to over 10,000 square feet. With a yard and a basement included, the price was insane. In other words, the villa Salman had given Charlie was worth $130 million. The sales agent continued. We provide separate property management and security services for our distinguished villa owners. Even though the regular homes and the villas are in the same community, there's a fence separating the villa area from the rest of the development. The main residential area is already very secure. Unauthorized people aren't allowed in. But the villa area inside is even safer. Simply put, if a burglar somehow got into the main residential area, it would be impossible for them to get past the additional security for the villa section. So our villa owners have absolute peace of mind. Just then, a woman's angry voice cut through the air. Are you serious? So you're basically using the owners in the regular apartments as a human shield for the rich people in the villas? A lot of people in the crowd nodded in agreement. Listening to the sales agent, that's exactly what it sounded like. Charlie thought the voice sounded familiar. When he looked up, he saw it was a woman wearing heavy makeup. It was Claire's cousin, Wendy. What was she doing here? Charlie and Claire were both surprised to see her, and right next to her stood her father, Noah Wilson, her mother, Yvonne, and her brother, Harold. Her whole family was there. Could they actually be here to buy a house? Claire whispered to Charlie, "My uncle and his family are all here. Let's just go." Charlie shook his head. "What for? If they're allowed to be here, so are we." "I'm just worried they'll start giving you a hard time again," Claire said.